Williams in San Antonio, Texas. Remember the Alamo. What's up, William?
Oh, good afternoon, Dave.
Afternoon.
I had a rather unfortunate financial incident in our marriage. Happened last fall. My wife got victimized in an internet fraud and not only lost a sizable amount of cash, but also took out some loans to help these people. And some of those were short-term credit card things like buying gift cards. And then there were 2 installment loans. One was for $23,500. One was for $17,500. The rest of them, the smaller credit cards and such, I'm using the snowball method to take care of those, but I need advice on the installment loans.
When it comes to this fraud, it's usually one of two things. Usually it's some sort of romantic interest, or it's some sort of somebody crying out for help with medical assistance or some sort of injustice. What is it in your situation?
It would be the former. My wife and I have been having some problems. Been together for 25 years, and things just kind of I don't know, they happened, and I didn't see the warning signs.
How's your marriage now?
But it's much better. I've been getting therapy, and she has been too, and we've been making some inroads, and just basic stuff like how we speak to each other, and
I'm proud of you, man. That's hard.
Try. Well, here's the thing. I had a bunch of people tell me, well, I would divorce somebody that would do that, and I'm not going to throw away 25 years.
Okay.
I said I would make a full year as a concerted effort to get this thing turned around financially and emotionally. And part of the emotional thing is me. I realized I needed to do some work, and so we're both doing therapy, and it seems to be benefiting.
Well, you're a beacon of light for men who find themselves in emotional situations without the right tools in the toolkit, and you can do one of two things. You can just take up your toolkit and go home, or you can storm the gates of hell and try to find more tools, and that's what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Amen.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
What's your household income, sir?
Go 69,000.
Okay. Does she work outside the home?
No, we're both in our mid-70s. No, we're both retired.
Oh boy.
So there's money there to take care of the short-term stuff. What do you mean
money? You have a nest egg?
We still have some resources, a 401k, and I have some money in my account. All the debts are in her name.
What is the how much money is in your account?
$45,000.
And how much money is in your 401k?
About the same. Little slightly
and
less.
Not counting these 2 installment loans, how much miscellaneous is there? The little credit card mosquitoes.
Yeah, I'm going to say 9,000-10,000.
Okay. All right.
I've got an income tax refund check coming in. The 2,000 is going to get knocked off for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would write a check out. I would write a check out of yours today, and pay off all the credit cards. That leaves the 40, and close all the accounts. Okay. Now, that is a gesture on your part towards the healing that you're searching for. The 40 is still sitting there. We'll come back to that in a minute. then I want to meet with her and her therapist and your therapist and however y'all are doing this marriage stuff. And somehow you've got to get some checks and balances and start to incrementally rebuild trust that you're not throwing good money after bad and this doesn't happen again. Because in the back of your mind, if I clean this out and this happens again, I ain't got anywhere to go. That's what's happening in the back of your mind. So you've got to know that this is solid going forward before you write any more big checks. But
Okay.
$9,000 in the scope of your life, you would pay that right now for healing. And I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get rid of all the mosquitoes. Get it down to 17.5 and 23.5. And then let's just sit there with those two while we work on this relationship. And as your trust reaches closer to 100%, and that is going to require some demonstrations as well as on her part and your part and healing and some time to rebuild. And as that is rebuilt and you approach 100% on that, then I'm going to start trying to figure out a way to get those paid off. But right now I want to clear the white noise, the clutter out of my mind with all these little bills because every time you write a check on this, it picks the scab. It opens the wound. And I'm trying to get it down to writing just 2 checks.
That's very perceptive. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I get pissed off all over again every time you do this. And you have to go through the whole process you've been doing in therapy. You start forgiveness again. You start to have to go back through the whole thing. And you start having all these conversations between your ears. We all do this. That's how I know. I wouldn't be guilty of it. No, not me. But I mean, you write checks for things that remind you of bad things. It's bad.
So Dave, at what point and again, in service of choosing reality, just owning, this is where we find ourselves, do 2 people in their 70s have to commit to going back to work for a year and earn another $40,000 to pay these debts off?
If she's of good health, I mean, I would talk to her therapist about this. I'm not going to intervene in that. But if she's of good health,
sounds like both of them.
She's trying to re-earn trust. And, I'm 12-stepping here, but, make amends.
Yeah.
I think she goes back to work.
Yeah.
And starts working on these other 2 loans. I think that's not because of financial, but just I think that's a representative movement towards owning this.
It will give a place for that energy to go too.
Make amends. It is a 12-step thing. And so you got to go back and where you can correct the wrongs. It's part of being repentant or sorry,
And nobody wants to work in their 70s, and that's where we find ourselves, right?
And nobody wants to get scammed by a romance on the internet, but that's where we find ourselves. This is The Ramsey Show.